Hey guys, it's Steve with Montana Musings back with you. And of course, I would be probably a little behind if I didn't start talking about the seven backcountry. And I look on my YouTube feed and it's just everywhere. And it's like I don't know, it's the biggest thing since Hornady started. I mean, I think really Hornady kind of might have got hoodwinked on this one because they're usually the king of marketers and out ahead of everybody else. And I just kind of wonder if they didn't miss the mark on this one. But you know, who knows? Maybe this is going to be a flop too. So hard to say. But I was just watching Jim with Backfire and kind of gleaning some information from his video, and it's definitely pretty interesting. Some things I'm just not sure um, if I like about it, or I don't know. My thing is the reloading thing, but apparently, I mean, that's way down the road when you're going to be able to reload it, apparently, because they're just working on getting dies and equipment and stuff like that for it. So that could be down the road a ways. But they were, of course, on the website and stuff. You have information. The 170 grain terminal ascent through a 20-inch barrel is supposed to be going 3,000 feet per second, which is 2304 at 500 yards. And that bullet's running a 645 G1 BC, and that's 3,070 feet or foot pounds of energy at 100 yards. So, that's pretty darn good. The other thing I was kind of wondering is if it's going to be pushing that heavy bullet and at those kind of speeds and stuff, what is the recoil going to be like? And so he says that the recoil is not too bad, and um, he's actually said that they're using less powder to generate that kind of energy and pressures, which doesn't make sense to me. I'm not a professional reloader, but that just doesn't. I don't know what kind of pixie dust they're putting in those things, but unless they're using Reloader 26, maybe they got a bunch of that, and that seems to be working. I really don't know. That's kind of interesting. The more this comes out, the more questions I have. It seems like, but they also said that the price of the ammo was going to be a little less, mainly because of the steel case. Even though it's their patented alloy, it may be cheaper than brass. So yeah, it's called Peak Alloy is what the case is named. So um, that's interesting as well. And I was listening to another uh, podcast, and they were talking about how in the case the cartridge is fired and the case swells up and to form to the chamber. It seems to me like the steel case is not going to form as well. Just going unless this alloy is um, pretty amazing compared to the old like Russian stuff or whatever. But maybe it does. Maybe it does. Expand enough to seal off and do all those things that a brass case does. I'm not sure because he said that the um, the bolt throwback is not as heavy, which would to me doesn't make sense either because if that steel is not, it doesn't have the ability to expand and gets grabbed in that case in that chamber. How would it not have more thrust to the rear if it's not grabbing? I don't know. So maybe it is, in fact. So just another question, trying to figure out a few things. But another one they had, I was just comparing to my 6.8 Western. So they had a Barnes 168 grain LRX out of a 20-inch barrel. They just throw those 3,000 feet per second numbers out there. And my 6.8 Western with the 165 grain ABLRs, I know they're not the same, but they're similar weight. Mine was averaging around 28.75, and I'm guessing that would be, I don't have the numbers, but I'm guessing it'd be around 2,100 feet per second at 500 yards, whereas the LRX was 2142 at 500 yards, and that's their numbers. So yeah, I don't know that that's, maybe mine's just a little over 2,000 too. Like I say, I was just guessing, but it doesn't seem like that much difference. Although Jim was shooting his he was shooting 170 grain terminal ascents at over 20, right around 2,900 feet per second out of a 16-inch barrel. So you can see that's what they're aiming for, is to get those velocities out of a short barrel because everybody's running suppressed these days. So, which that's why I got my 20-inch barrel. Yeah, put my AB suppressor on there. I love it. So, like the other day, I went out to the range and forgot my Air Pro, and I don't have a lot of time to be running around. So I thought, well, we'll just see what happens. And I shot the session without Air Pro, and it, my ears didn't ring. I didn't notice anything. So that AB suppressor that I got from Scogan's Gun Supply worked really well. So, and it looks like there's quite a few guns that are going to be made. So these guys have, even like I'm just a little YouTuber. Backfire has been probably known about this for a long time, and a lot of these other big YouTubers, and they've already been testing them and that kind of stuff. So, but the fact that all these other, so they, Federal did their homework, and they've got a lot of other gun manufacturers to make chamberings for it and to make guns based on that. So, and I just watched a video by Seekins, who was making their PH3, and it's going to be a heavier, stronger build that is supposed to handle the higher pressures. And they were just talking about that. And then this 7 Backcountry came out just like a day later. So it was almost like they were telegraphing it. So that was kind of interesting now that I look back on that video for the PH3 from Seekins. So that would be pretty sweet. I like they got a folding stock design and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. But so Horizon, Proof, Savage, Fierce, Seekins, Weatherby, plus others are going to be chambering that round. So anyway, I just, like I say, I've got questions. There's some things that I obviously think that it's probably the wave of the future, just because of the short barrel suppressor thing. But then I'm kind of leaning towards, in a way, like Reloading Weatherby. He likes high velocity through a 26-inch barrel, and so do I. I would like that. I do have my. I will be getting a new gun in a couple weeks or so, maybe 3 weeks. It's the Winchester Model 70 and the AAA Maple, and it's got a 24-inch barrel, but it's not threaded. So, boy, that one's a tough one there, because I'm probably thinking about getting that thing threaded, which would kind of take away from what it is. But really, the most beautiful thing on it is the wood. So and everything else about it is just the Model 70. It's great. So, but yeah, that's something I'm probably going to end up doing, just so I can run that thing suppressed as well. So and get those velocities back that I don't have with the 20-inch barrel. But I'm thinking 300 to 400 yard shots with the 20-inch barrel with the 6.8 Western is going to get the job done. So yeah, I don't know. It's like the gun and bullet manufacturers really do need to just constantly be trying to innovate to come up with a new sale, which, that's fine. That's why the 6.8 Western's out there. It was just an upgrade to the 270 WSM. So I'm not against it by any means. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this 7mm Backcountry, and whether you think it's going to flop, or if it's going to be the wave of the future, or what. Is there going to be, like, there's a big difference between the 277 Fury case compared to this one, which is just an all steel design. And so how is the case manufacturing going to evolve as well with the high pressure goals that they have? Has Federal just kind of latched? Have they found the secret sauce, and this is what it's going to be with their case design, and it's patented? So somebody else is going to have to come up with something slightly different to compete. So yeah, I don't know, but anyway, let me know what you think, and hopefully this wasn't too long, but just wanted to at least talk about this new cartridge and see what you guys think. But I'm sticking with my 6.8 Western because I know it'll get the job done, and that's all I care about. So we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.